I'm Paul Messina in the fictional Kingsbridge section of the Bronx. Oh, Kingsbridge really exists, but since neighborhood native Steve Schindler set his first novel here, Kingsbridge has taken on a fictional quality.
I was trying to write something that I thought people in my neighborhood would get a kick out of.
That book, Sewer Balls, we'll discuss the name later, is a coming-of-age novel, and it follows the adventures of a group of adolescents as they learn about life in the Kingsbridge of the 1960s. That's something Schindler knows well.
I based it on myself, and I wrote it in a first-person narrative, and I did that as a device. I wanted the entire novel to have a feel of almost like a journal of a young person, of a 13-year-old. And although it's not really a journal or a memoir, but I wanted it to have that feel.
Schindler left the neighborhood some 20 years ago. So did many of the real kids, now grown, who've been turned into fictional characters.
It was a great group of people, and it was a frenetic energy, and he just captured what it was like growing up here on 238th Street.
That includes the serious parts of growing up, plus fun and games like stickball.
This is an old coal chute, and this would be our strike zone, of course. And the pitch would be over here. This tree didn't used to be here. And this is where you would hit the ball. But the problem was there's a nice private house over there. And when you got a little bit older, you would maybe hit one of those windows. But this was the center of the neighborhood. This iron gate didn't used to be here. We used to sit on these stumps and hang here, and there's an alley here. And we did everything imaginable in this alley.
Things like playing cards, smoking cigarettes, just hanging out.
But as you can see now, after about 40 years of people hanging out, somebody got sick of it, put up a gate, no more hanging out.
Now this is the actual sewer seen on the book cover, and it's where the book gets its title. A sewer ball is what kids get when they can't afford a new Spalding. But if you want to know just how they get that ball out of the sewer, you'll have to watch part 2 of the Neighborhood Report.
You see things in this city growing up that people who grow up other places don't see their whole life.
In Kingsbridge, Paul Messina, New York 1. I'm Paul Messina, and I'm still in Kingsbridge with author Steve Schindler. His first novel, Sewer Balls, takes place here in the neighborhood where he grew up. And while the characters are fictional, there's a lot of Schindler and his boyhood friends in them.
Most of the characters are composite characters, but there are definitely personalities in there that are recognizable, and I think people are getting a kick out of that.
So is the book fact or fiction to the now grown kids from Schindler's childhood?
Oh, it was real for me because, like I say, I was one of the people, that grew up. I was in that little clique of people that knew everything. So it was everything. I knew who everybody was in the book. Put it that way.
Who are you?
Kevin Flynn.
Now for the really important question: just what is a sewer ball? It's what kids get when they don't have money for a new Spalding.
So what do? You get a bent coat hanger. You go to a sewer, and if you have the kind of sewers like you have around here, you open up the manhole cover, and a buddy who you really trust will lower you down into the sewer, hold you by the ankles, while you're down there with a bent coat hanger, fishing out balls out of the sewer.
This is the actual sewer seen on the book's cover. And this is also the actual sewer Schindler used to stick his head in to get sewer balls. So how much of those memories come back when you walk through Kingsbridge?
It's amazing because the look of this neighborhood has not changed.
I wonder if the games are the same. In the book and in real life, curveball was popular.
Okay, well, you would be back on that driveway there. That's exactly where you would be. And then I'd be up first, and I would hit it right off here. Whoa! Now that was right off the point.
But even if you didn't grow up in Kingsbridge, and even if you didn't grow up in the 1960s, you might still recognize your life.
I think people everywhere grew up with their own rituals and their own dangerous activities that they learned lessons from. And I just think that everybody gets the emotional connection to what a kid goes through to try and discover what life's about.
But you didn't write a book about it. Sewer Balls is available at area Barnes & Noble stores and online through Schindler's own small press, also named for a neighborhood icon, the Elevated Press, at www.elevated.com. In Kingsbridge, where sewer balls are there for the taking, Paul Messina, New York 1.
Good exercise, right?